Hello, what's up everybody, and welcome again to another episode of Just for Fun Games. My name is Jonathan Rodriguez, otherwise known as Azzy, and with me, as always, is my friend Nicholas Murga, otherwise known as Roy. Damn, that was almost so good.
We're rolling with it.
Damn it. Okay. I'm just gonna keep all of this in.
We're going with this.
We are with you yet again today to talk about WandaVision. Episode 3 just came out. Did the episode have a name? I'm going to cut this section where I'm figuring that shit out. Episode 3 in color. That is right. This is definitely going to be a spoiler review of the episode. So if you haven't seen the episode, come back and join us afterwards. Otherwise, you know the drill. We are in the 70s now. It's a kind of Brady Bunch sort of thing. Whole new intro, the whole shebang, and Brady Bunch is never my thing. I was never a fan of the Brady Bunch. Brady Bunch made me feel weird.
All I remember is Marsha.
Marsha. I mean, she was cute, but still.
I mean, she was the hottest one, so.
Right.
You probably didn't pick that up. I don't know if you did. Anyway.
So, as we left off with the last episode, Wanda has now just manifested pregnancy, and this episode really picks off like a couple hours after the previous one ended, where they went and found a doctor, and the doctor is essentially telling them, oh yeah, everything seems fine here, you should be ready to go in about 8 months. And then the moment he leaves, it's, yeah, you're probably gonna be done in like 2 hours.
No, I forget what he said. It wasn't like no 2 hours. That's pretty much how they took the whole show. Like, hey, so at the end, she gave birth to twins.
Oh yeah, but I read the description of the episode before actually diving into the episode, and like the premise of this episode was essentially the pregnancy was going to cause Wanda's powers to go haywire, and yeah, that did happen eventually. But that kind of led me to believe that like from the jump, her powers are going to be going haywire, or like random shit was gonna be happening. And if
which I find funny, but it was explained a little bit after she gave birth, is when she was in labor, pushing. And fucking Geraldine sees all the shit going on in the house and be like, woo!
I'm gonna assume there's a logical explanation for all of this. I actually love that like brush off. It's like, okay, let's not focus on that shit.
Okay,
we'll get back to that later.
Let's get these kids out.
Kid. They didn't know it was kids yet.
Yeah, didn't know.
But here are my quick takeaways. In the previous episode, with the guy on the radio saying, Wanda, who did this to you? That actually, cracked my bit of armor. Going like, oh wow, maybe there is an external element to this. But no. I've lost some of that suspicion. And it's like, this is Wanda. She may be going crazy, but this is definitely Wanda.
Yeah, like near the end of the episode is when Vision was talking to Agnes and I forget the other guy.
Herb. His name is Herb. Now you can keep going.
Okay, so there's that one part where Vision, Agnes, and Herb were outside talking, and it's like, yeah, she's in there. Like, I don't know if you put subtitles on because you can't barely hear what Agnes is saying to Herb. It's she's talking about Geraldine being in the house with Wanda. And that's when Agnes is talking about Geraldine. It's like, yeah, she doesn't have family. And Vision's like, that's fine. And then Geraldine was like,
she doesn't have a house.
She doesn't have a home or something like that. And this is when they could have cut with a nice comedy thing from Vision, be like, she's homeless or something like that. But in that sense, that's when the fourth wall, like they starting to realize something's not right. But they're almost trying to get it out.
But do the neighbors know? Or because it seems like they're aware that this place isn't right. And even the doctor's like, he had this idea that he was going to go on vacation. It's like, oh, of course, the moment I try to go on vacation, my car breaks down because no one can leave.
Yeah, you know what I'm starting to expect? I don't know if you saw this movie. I'm starting to begin to believe it's like how the movie Dark City was. Okay, so basically in that movie, it was like a whole bunch of humans stuck in this city. the city, you would never see light or anything. It was that hence Dark City. But you would eventually find out it was controlled by these other beings, and they can put you to sleep and rearrange certain story elements in that world. That's what it seems like. And especially when Geraldine got kicked out by Wanda.
Oh, you see, now I'll be honest. My brain was kind of going all over the place because while the Occam's razor, which essentially means like the simplest solution is oftentimes the best solution. When Wanda noticed Geraldine's necklace and it had the sword symbol in it, I saw that, and I'm still looking for the possibility of Mephisto, which in Marvel Comics is essentially their version of Satan. And that sword symbol could also be an upside down crucifix. So I saw that, I was like, and to feed into that, Geraldine wanted to hold the baby, and Wanda kind of like recoiled from her, and Geraldine suddenly like the smile like dropped from her face, and she goes, "Oh, Wanda, don't be that way." It's like there was a sinister energy to that, and I was like, "Are you Satan?"
Yeah, not obviously when she got thrown out.
Oh, but then it turned on her because then immediately where it seemed like Geraldine had some kind of confidence, some kind of chutzpah to her, suddenly that all fell away as Wanda takes the assertive position. She takes the aggressive position. And then we finally get that little bit from the trailer that we saw where we saw Geraldine being hurled from the town. But anytime anything challenges the state of this world, Wanda blinks it out. Where before it was rewinding like a VCR tape.
Yeah. But I say there was that one conversation with Wanda and Vision, and it's like when Vision was talking about her cutting the wall.
Yeah.
And then so quick, because I thought something messed up with my Disney Plus, and it went back, and I was like, why did it stutter like that? Why did it go back to that, like the beginning where Vision was behind the couch, and then he sat on the couch and went back to. I was like, wait a minute, something's not right with my thing, and it's like, oh wait, she changed it.
Yep. It reminded me of Arkham Asylum. If anybody played Batman Arkham Asylum, when they pretend that the game fucked up and starts you over at the. I turned off my game at that point. I got tricked, but I didn't get tricked this time. No, I figured that out pretty quick. She restarted that shit. She went back a scene.
So now, there's those moments in the show where it goes to like that commercial break.
Oh yeah.
And this time, for the second time, we seen something with Hydra. Is Hydra possibility is what's going on here?
I don't think so. I think these are really just flashbacks to her past and things that are still affecting her. Because remember, we also got Stark products.
Oh,
and
yeah, you're right.
The missiles, what effectively pushed her into Hydra's hands in the first place, were those Stark missiles that were used by whoever the hell that was attacking Sokovia at the time. So deep down, she still kind of probably blames at least Stark Industries and its previous practices for the death of her parents. And she wouldn't even have her powers if it weren't for Hydra, and she wouldn't have lost her brother if it weren't for Hydra.
Ultron.
Oh, yeah. When Geraldine dropped Ultron. Oh, shit. I feel like what we're getting is
like,
that...
Oh, they remember that movie.
She's obviously an agent. She's obviously an agent of S.W.O.R.D., and they're sending her in. But I feel like what we're going to learn is that when you penetrate the membrane, you fall into like the role that you have to play in that world. So there are moments of clarity, but people can't exactly maintain who they were outside the bubble. Because like for a second, it dawned on Geraldine. Either that, or they're trying to tiptoe what is effectively a bomb, and accidentally Geraldine dropped the act, which makes her a terrible spy or agent or whatever the hell she is.
Mm-hmm.
We're still calling her Geraldine instead of who she actually is.
Yeah, I'm still in the boat of like, what's going on? Now you saw Geraldine kind of like break her character and Wanda catching on, and then like Wanda being like, "This is my like world, whatever I'm creating. Get out because you're gonna mess everything up or whatever she's trying to do." But other than that,
Is this the part
I
where
thought this episode was it was a good episode.
I would say that this episode didn't have as much comedy. I enjoyed like watching Wanda trying to like scare off the bird without like alerting Geraldine. But I would say it toned it up in the suspense and the mystique. So I would say that like, I would give this episode a solid like 8.5, 9, that kind of range. I'm never good at
It was funny because you were mentioning funny parts, and I remember one part I specifically laughed, and it was the part where the power went out in the neighborhood or whatever, and that woman, one of the neighbors, they go to their house, and the woman puts on her earrings or some shit, and she was like, "Does these make my
do these make my ass look fat?"
And the power goes out, and he flips the newspaper. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that had me bugging.
All right, so if you were going to give this episode a score, what would you give it?
I give it a 8.
All right.
Because now it's the one little tease we're finally getting that we maybe see that's the thing where I hate.
Finally picking up steam.
Yeah, it's always at the end of the episode where they finally show you what's going on.
Yeah.
Like at the end of this one, you saw all the vehicles swarm to Geraldine at the end, I guess, to go pick her up. And it's like, because, it went from 4:3 to widescreen.
Yeah, you were right. You mentioned that the last time. When it transitions from 4:3 to widescreen, that's when we know that we're back in, like, the real world.
So, I mean, like everybody else in the world, they want to know what's going on. And we still don't know. I don't think. How many was this third episode?
If you had to guess,
5 more.
If you had to guess, well, yeah, because each episode is going to bring us up a decade till we're kind of back to where we're supposed to be. That's my prevailing thought. But if you had to guess, what is the next episode going to be based on? Because if this was like
show,
yeah, because this is going to be in the 80s now, it could be Roseanne.
I don't want to see a Roseanne intro for WandaVision.
Just like, but it could end on Wanda with that like Roseanne Barr type laugh.
Nah.
Nonetheless, that is where we're gonna close it out on here. Hopefully you guys stuck with us, and hopefully you come back for the next episode, which we will be watching and recording, same as always. Once again, my name is Jonathan Rodriguez. Nick Murga. Come back next time. Make sure you comment what you thought about the episode.
Laters.
Peace.